What's going on YouTube? It's Shot by Zion. We're back with another video for y'all today, man. And today we're going to be talking about the top 5 pros and the top 5 cons that I have of owning this 2009 Dodge Charger Pursuit. And since I've been driving it almost daily for over a year now, I can say I got enough seat time in it to actually give you guys a decent list, so you guys know if you're looking to buy like a 2009 2010 Dodge Charger, you guys know what to look out for, at least from my point of view. And I don't know if y'all can see, man, on my chest, hopefully it sounds good. We got some new mics in today, so I couldn't wait to actually try them out. So it's the first video I'm using with them. So from now on, man, hopefully if this sounds good, we won't have any more audio issues, because these are some very good DJI mics. And this is actually right now on sale. I think I can probably add it to the links down in the products. But these are right now on sale for 45 bucks for a 1-pack. So I got it basically half off from Amazon. So I'm not sponsored, it's not an ad or anything like that. I just thought it was cool and it was too good of a deal to pass up on. But for starters, let's go ahead and start the list off of the pros. And obviously the pros is the very first one is going to be the fact that it has a 5.7 liter Eagle Hemi, which I've said over and over and over again in a bunch of different videos. It makes 368 horsepower and 395 foot-pounds of torque from factory. And with this also being a Dodge Charger Pursuit, it has a high-speed engine controllers. So basically it has no governor to limit the top speed of it. It will do basically however fast it will allow itself to go. And a lot of people will tell you about how, since it's not SRT, that the 5.7s are slow and heavy and all this other stuff. But those are people who clearly ain't never driven one, which I was guilty of that myself, because before I got this car, the only really Hemis I can say I actually driven was all the SRTs, Scat Packs, Hellcats, Whipple Hellcats, all that good stuff. So I really had the least amount of seat time in the 5.7. So I was just going off of what everybody else was saying, like, oh man, I don't want no 5.7 because they lame, right? Nah, bro. Ever since I got this car, you can't tell me I'm in a 5.7 when I'm driving it. It don't feel like no 5.7, I can tell you that. So it's just a whole, it's a beast, bro. For a daily car, you don't need anything more than this. It's got more than enough power to have some fun if you need it. The second thing I'll bring up is the fact that since I'm pretty sure it's the SRTs, the Pursuits, and then you have the Road and Track Performance RTs. Those all came with performance tuned steering, which basically this has as well. As it probably doesn't mean anything really, but basically people always think that these cars weigh a lot and that they can't handle or take corners or anything like that. But in reality, they're not that bad, bro. They actually handle pretty good for what they are. So you should actually be impressed on how well that they handle for what they are. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't like this is like a Ferrari or even a Nissan 370 or anything like that. It's a 4-door V8. Like, come on. The third pro of the car is the fact that since it is a Pursuit, we got the big brake kit for the police package, which actually comes with dual piston calipers, just like the regular RT and stuff does. But at the same time, you get 20 millimeters more in rotor for it. So I believe that the RTs, and I think even the SRTs, they still have a smaller rotor than what the Pursuit brakes are. So either way, the Pursuits are kind of the best as of getting the most surface area for the brake pad to bite onto and basically to stop the car. And then if y'all watch my videos, y'all know we went ahead and upgraded from the factory brake pads or whatever they had on this from before, and we went ahead and put some Power Stop Z37 Top Cop brake pads on it. And those are actually carbon ceramic brake pads. So ever since I put those on, it just stops on a dime, no issues. The fourth thing I'll say is, obviously because it is a Dodge Charger Pursuit, once again, we have the severe duty engine cooling package. So it's able to keep the car a lot more cool while it's getting driven hard. And I believe it also has a bigger power steering cooler and a transmission oil cooler as well. I don't hold me on that, I'll have to double check, but I do know the SRTs, they have severe duty engine cooling 2, or severe duty 2 engine cooling, which is just a step up above what I have. And then I believe the RTs and the V6s just got regular. And then the fifth and final one I'll go ahead and throw in here on the list is just the fact that it looks so aggressive in the front end and really just all around. To me, at first I thought these cars were ugly, I'm not gonna lie, as many people do, at least in these first 2006 to 2010 years of the Dodge Charger. They technically weren't the best looking, but when you, obviously that's if you compare it to the newer ones. But honestly, in its own right, man, this car looks so good now, especially now that I have it and I've been able to modify it and get some cool things done to it. It looks way better now, and to me at least, than I thought it ever would, because I never thought I would actually really like these cars again, at least ever since I was a kid. Because the older I got, I wanted more and more to get the newer ones. So like I said, this one got pushed down to the bottom of the list, but it was definitely the very first Dodge Charger I seen that basically made me fall in love was this one right here. So, well, not this exact one, but you know, this body style. And so basically it looks good. It looks aggressive. It breaks necks everywhere I go. People always saying they like the car, how nice it is, how clean it is. I'm constantly getting compliments. So it makes me feel good, and it basically shows that you don't really have to go and buy the newest car to actually feel good about having a nice or a semi-nice car, you feel what I'm saying? So just get what you want, have fun with it, because that's what I'm doing, and I haven't looked back ever since, bro. I love this car. Now it's time to go ahead and go over to the top 5 cons of owning my 2009 Dodge Charger Pursuit. And if you watch my videos, you guys probably heard a couple of these already before. So without further ado, man, the first one I'm gonna have to go with, the number one most hated thing about this car, is the fact that the front suspension is so weak. And if you just watched my last video about how I went over everything that's wrong with it, like actually mechanically and cosmetically wrong with the car, then you guys know that that's like the main issue I have with this car. And even though I replaced everything, we're basically riding on full upgrades, because before it had the 4-wheel independent performance suspension. So now we upgraded to the Bilsteins and all that with the SRT coil springs, which is supposed to make it the high performance 4-wheel independent suspension now, basically, which comes on the SRTs. And even with that, along with brand new sway bars, tie rods, just everything you can think of, like I'm not gonna keep repeating it. If you watch my videos, you already know I've done replaced everything, still rides like crap. My second thing is going to be up here, which I showed in the last video as well, because it's something cosmetically wrong with the car. I'll have to show you guys up here on the screen, but basically this part of the dash up here is messed up, and it's common on basically every Charger from 08 to 2010, and it's on every Challenger from 2008 to 2014. All the dashes on these like to bow or start warping, and so they lift up in the middle for whatever reason, and now you look like your dash falling apart. The third thing I'll add to the list is going to be the fact that, honestly, I'm not sure if I hate it or if I love it, but the column shifter right here, man, like, it's different, and yeah, it's not really a big deal, but at the same time, I'm so used to having this up here. I'll go get in a Honda or something, and I'll sit there and try and go reach for the damn wiper blades and stuff in there, thinking I'm about to try and put it in the drive. But it's like, it's cool. I don't know if from that angle, if y'all can see, I have this cord plugged into my screen, and basically whenever the car's in drive and it's right there, it basically almost hits the cord out of the radio. So that's super close. At first, when I first got the car, it took me a long time to get used to it, trying to get in and out of gear all the time. But I mean, I'm pretty used to it now. So like I said, it's not really a big deal, but it was one of my biggest pet peeves when I first got the car. It took me a while to get used to, because I think the only other car I've really ever driven that had something like this was a Ford Ranger. So I've been talking about like extensively. So basically I wasn't used to having anything like this. Low key, when I got the car, the first thing I got was the center console, and then I was gonna try and do the shifter swap, but I kind of got delayed a little bit from that because I didn't know how to do anything about the wiring. But everybody says that this is pretty cool, and it's probably like one of the main reasons why they, besides the Pursuits coming all-wheel drive most of the time, that they think this is probably one of the coolest things about it being a Pursuit. But like I say, it's to each their own, but it's iffy for me. I'm not sure if I like it or if I hate it. And then the fifth and final thing that I'm going to add to this list, which now I'm thinking about it, this should have been the very first one, because Dodge handicapped these cars so crazy from factory, like every 5.7 from every model year, basically, up until they started adding packages to where you can basically get Brembos and in the Super Track pack and all that good stuff on the 5.7. Basically all that beforehand was only for the Scat Packs and the SRTs and all that stuff. Before all that happened, the only way you could get these all came with open diffs from 2006 all the way up to, like I say, like 2021, 2022 is where they were all open diff no matter what. And like I said, that basically handicaps these cars, because even the SRT8s from 2006 up until 2008 had an open diff. So like, why would you put a high performance car with an open diff? Like, that makes no sense. So whenever people talk about putting a 306 rear end from like a 06, 07 SRT or something like that, it don't make no sense, because yeah, you're putting a open diff where you had an open diff already. It's no different. I say that to say that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves next to the suspension, is that the fact that they make it so hard to be able to get the limited slip differential, at least for these cars. And if you want it, you gotta find it one from a 09 and 10 SRT8, which those are the rarest years to find in terms of production numbers. They didn't have it in 2011, so then you'll have to find either a 12, 13, or 14. My fault. I'm out here in the car. You got to keep your head on the swivel. But you got to find a 12, 13, or 14. And then if you find that, you got to get the axles. You got to get the rear half of the drive shaft. And so basically all that combined is going to be a couple thousand. And then basically in 2015 is when they finally got smart to where you can kind of just swap the diff over without having to do anything crazy, as long as it has an 8-speed. So if you have like a 2015 and up RT, you can basically just go grab the Hellcat diff or the Scat Pack diff and just go ahead and swap it in and not have to worry about the drive shaft or anything like that. You might still have to get axles, but I mean, that's a given. So with that being said, man, those are my top 5 pros and my top 5 cons that I've come up with in the last year and a half or so of me driving this car. In all though, it's a great car. I actually could have added in here in the list of cons is gas mileage, but then you don't buy this car for gas mileage for real. But if you're going to daily it, just know you're going to come out of pocket heavy. Boy, these things are thirsty, especially once I started modifying it. I ain't gonna lie, actually me modifying it actually seems to make it better on gas, like if that sounds crazy. When it was stock and I first got it, boy, it was drinking gas like crazy. But now that I've got my little mileage done to it, it gets way better gas mileage than it did before. So I always thought that was weird. Unless something, maybe, I mean, I changed my spark plugs and stuff too, so maybe all that plays a factor. But long story short, man, that's my list. Top 5 pros, top 5 cons. If you have a 2006 to 2010 Dodge Charger and you have any of your own, go ahead and leave them in the comments. And if you're actually looking for one, let me know as well, man, because, you know, we got to keep giving these 6 gens the love that they deserve. And not even just the Chargers, man, all the LX Mopars, 300 Magnums, all that good stuff, man. I love to see it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm trying to get as many videos done as I can, especially with the holidays coming up and it's getting cold. So I'm not going to be able to be outside as much. And that's why I'm kind of glad that I got these mics now, because if I'm gonna sit here, hopefully, like I said, this sounds good to y'all. That way, if I can sit here and just low-key chat with y'all every now and then, that's a lot better than me having to constantly go out and it's gonna be too cold to be trying to find something to do. Which I'm sorry though, I ain't gonna lie. There was just a car meet in the city like last night. I ain't even hear nothing about it, and that's only because I ain't got Instagram and Facebook and shit. So, but it was turned. It looked like, so I would have went out there and probably been able to get some good content. But it's cool, man. We're going to get back up on Facebook and Instagram here shortly. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube if you haven't already. Check us out on Patreon. We're on TikTok as well. And I want to say thank you guys for if you watch my videos, especially my full form content, like I've been saying in my last couple of videos, it means a lot. But I get a lot of views on YouTube Shorts. But at the end of the day, the full form content views and shit, that's what really matters, at least to YouTube and the algorithm. So the ones of you that do come and show love to my full form videos, I can't thank you guys enough. I'm actually glad I'm rambling a little bit before I got off here. But basically, I'm thinking about, seriously this time, I've said it in the past before, but seriously, I'm thinking about dropping some merch this time. So I got a couple designs already made that I've been working on throughout the last like a couple years. And then I got one new one that I'm working on currently right now. So I'm trying to gather them up, get them ready. That way we can start getting some shirts and some hoodies printed. And then I can get my shop set up again, and then we can start selling some merch, man. So let me know in the comments also if you would be interested in my merch. So I'm gonna show you guys some of the designs right up here on the screen. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys on my next video.
I swear I'm trying to change my life, but end up back up in these streets. With my back against the wall, and a hammer in my reach. Keep a hit me in my car, we see the law, you hear it scream.